If you watch the show with any regularity, you've seen how many times we have covered an epidemic here of the growing prescription drug problem in this country. There's been an explosion of people who will do just about anything to get their hands on these powerful pills, and a troubling new report suggests the problem, it is only getting worse. Sales of the nation's two most popular painkillers, they have jumped dramatically over the last decade. We're talking about oxycodone, main ingredient in drugs like OxyContin and also Percocet, and hydrocodone, which is found in drugs like Vicodin and more. Now, in 2010, pharmacies nationwide, they dispensed, get this, more than 110 million tons 110 million tons of just those two drugs. That's enough to give every man, woman, and child in this country 60 painkillers each. Now, while some doctors and drug companies will tell you these drugs are helping people deal with pain, in many cases they are, reality is these are highly addictive drugs, and people who start using them, at least many people, are having a really hard time here stopping that use. Now, earlier this year, we brought you a special investigation on how the epidemic is spreading in our region. We introduced you to Carolyn Alfieri of Huntington. She became addicted to OxyContin when seeking relief from pain that she developed, in her back and shoulders coming from playing the violin. She's thankfully a survivor, but before her recovery, her life, it spiraled out of control, and reporter Holly Hare has her story.
I was born into the disease of addiction. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was a pill popper.
But Carolyn Alfieri, who now lives in Huntington Station with her dog and rescued rabbits, says she didn't think it could happen to her. She went to college. She played the violin, but she developed pain in her shoulders and back from playing the instrument she loved.
I told my roommate at the time that I was in pain, and she said to me, "Why don't you go see my doctor? She'll hook you up." It was exactly what she said. So I made an appointment with this doctor, and I came home with the prescription for 120 extra strength Vicodin with 5 refills. I did enjoy the way it made me feel, that sort of floaty feeling. It was sort of like a 4-hour vacation. And the progression happened very rapidly. Within 2 years' time, I progressed from extra strength Vicodin to Percocet to extra strength Percocet until December 15th of 2000. I remember the day, because you always remember the day that you fall in love. I was introduced to OxyContin, and that was where my life turned to hell.
OxyContin is a brand name for oxycodone, an opiate painkiller. Within months, she says she was injecting it. She lived in Arizona and took immense risks.
I was going down to Mexico about 3 or 4 times a week to score OxyContin, because it was dirt cheap at the time. And then eventually Mexico dried up. You couldn't get the pills there, and that's when I started forging prescriptions.
She says she ended up in jail more than once, but that wasn't enough to make her stop.
Even while I was sitting in a jail cell kicking opiates with 50 women in one toilet, I didn't think I had a problem.
That's even though she said withdrawal was horrendous.
At my worst, I was taking the minimum 50 to 60 pills a day, just to stave off the withdrawals. Withdrawal is like having the flu times 10. You're hot, you're cold, your body aches, your skin burns, your intestines just open. It's hell. It's pure hell.
Eventually, she moved back to her home state, New York. But she says it became difficult to get OxyContin here because she ended up on New York's prescription drug tracking system, which traces people who go to different places to get prescriptions.
A doctor that I shopped sat me down and said, "Carolyn, I want to show you something that I received in the mail." And it was a printout of every doctor I ever went to, every medication I ever got. He said, "You have a problem."
Her turning point came when another doctor encouraged her to get help by waiving his fee and offering her the drug Suboxone, which lessens withdrawal symptoms.
Being the smooth addict that I was just gonna, yeah, sure, I just want my pills and then I'll do it my way, because it's been working for so long, you know. But something inside of me was really moved by his generosity, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance. And he suggested to me that maybe I think about attending a 12-step program, and I did. And I've been sober ever since. My pure sober date is January 31st of 2008.
The date is tattooed on her arm, along with other mementos of sobriety.
And the reason why I have the tattoos is to cover the track marks.
Now she has a job, but would rather not say on camera where she works, and she speaks about addiction and what the addiction cost her.
I had lost everything. I lost my job. I lost my car. I lost my teeth. I got $7,000 worth of dental work. I had my teeth replaced because I just lost everything. Hygiene wasn't important.
Carolyn says she's often recognized when she's walking around town or shopping, and sometimes people who've heard her speak come up and thank her.
I share my experience at every opportunity that I can. The message that I want to get out to people is you do not have to live like this. There is hope.